sentencing day for a Laurel County man that made national headlines in what was called a mercy killing. The victim's family says it was far from that.
New details tonight in the deaths of two R.J. Corman workers who died in the severe flooding in South Carolina.
An Eastern Kentucky toddler dies in a bizarre accident. How investigators say he crashed his mother's truck while she was inside the house.
Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT News at 5:30.
Good evening to you. He says his wife asked him to shoot her because she was suffering from cancer. Tonight, a Laurel County man learned his punishment for killing her.
A judge sentenced Chris Chumbley to 15 years in prison. Chumbley pleaded guilty to manslaughter, but was originally charged with murder. Phil Pendleton is talking to both families about the punishment. He has our top story at 5:30.
Ernest Chris Chumbley pleaded guilty to manslaughter and received 15 years. Yet he told us from jail that he shot and killed his wife of 20 years, Virginia May, because she wanted him to end her pain. It's an act that his brother still defends.
To me, that is a true definition of love, to do something without no regrets whatsoever. He just done what she wanted him to do.
You just killed somebody's sister.
Virginia May's family says the 44-year-old breast cancer survivor was fighting the condition and wanted to keep fighting.
If you loved her, why didn't you pick up the phone and call 911? If you loved her, why didn't you pick up the phone and call her family and say, hey, I can't deal with it? That's love. Police say Virginia May was shot in the face 3 times. She had breast cancer since 2006, yet her family says she had not given up. She took every treatment. Everything that you could possibly do. She quit drinking pop. She quit wearing makeup. Chumbley has already been in jail 2 years and will be eligible for parole after he serves just over 12.5 years.
He's ready to put this matter behind him. This has been grueling on him, his family, the victim's family. This has just been a grueling experience for everyone involved. Chumbley's sentence of 15 years follows the prosecutor's recommendation. In Laurel County, Phil Pendleton, WKYT.
Relatives tell us Virginia May Chumbley told them she thought she was going to be cured of her cancer and never talked about wanting to die. It was another day of sunshine and temperatures in the 80s, but some big changes are on the way to start the weekend.
Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey is tracking some rain moving into the Commonwealth. Chris?
Yes, we are. Scattered showers will return to the forecast as we make our way into the day on Friday. Short term looks good out there. A lot of upper 70s to around 80 again this afternoon. Madison County. Take you back to noontime. Watch our time lapse here showing up with the clouds, the sun kind of fighting it out a little bit. And you notice the trees here off the side of the road, and the limbs are kind of going back and forth a little bit with some gusty winds from time to time. Look at this gorgeous shot into southeastern Kentucky at Jackson. Everybody with a mix of sun and clouds out there, seeing more in the way of some of those clouds across parts of northern and central Kentucky. Everybody, though, continues to be rain-free. We will change that up with a cold front that is just off into the edge of your screen there, coming in from northwest to southeast. That arrives as we go into Friday with some showers that will blow on into town. Someone, and I say someone, maybe one or two of you may hear a little rumble of thunder out there tomorrow afternoon. Chilly yet nice weather. We'll follow that up for the weekend. And I've got another cold front that'll show up in your 7-day forecast here in just a few minutes. We will time the rains in and out of town.
Chris, thank you. We'll see you then. We have an update to a story that we told you about last night. A South Carolina TV station reports the sheriff's office in Richland County, South Carolina, says someone moved a barricade meant to keep people from driving on a flooded road. A crew of 5 employees from R.J. Corman in Kentucky went off that road and into the water yesterday morning. 3 of the men made it out of the truck, but 2 died. Originally, investigators thought the victims moved the barricades, but the sheriff says someone else did. Sheriff Leon Lott is reminding people to leave the barricades alone and not to drive around them.
New tonight, Kentucky community colleges are honoring the victims of the shootings in Oregon. Students and faculty at Hazard Community Technical College gathered for a moment of silence today. This comes nearly a week after a gunman opened fire, killing 9 people at Umpqua Community College.
It's important that we're looking at all colleges across the nation showing unity with our colleagues in Oregon.
Several other colleges in Kentucky also took part in the moment of silence. An Eastern Kentucky community is mourning the loss of a child who died in a tragic accident. Police say 3-year-old Eli Bullock and his brother were sitting in a truck when Eli put it in gear, causing it to roll away and go over an embankment. Eli died at the hospital. Tonight, Sam Smith talks to neighbors about the bizarre accident. It's a story that's new at 5:30.
No parents should have to outlive their children, especially no grandparent.
A family and a community are mourning the loss of a young child.
Anytime you have a child this age, it tears at your heart a little bit harder.
The Pike County Deputy Coroner says Monday evening, 3-year-old Eli Bullock and his mother stopped to pick up his grandmother at her home. Eli's 9-month-old brother was strapped in a car seat.
Was left running because of the heat.
Eli went in to use the bathroom. When he came out, the deputy coroner says he climbed into his mother's truck, parked in the driveway.
Mom and grandmother and grandfather were standing in the yard a little ways from the truck talking.
He says apparently while playing, the toddler somehow pulled it into gear. The truck started rolling and went over this embankment.
The boy was either thrown out or jumped out, we don't know which.
Eli was pronounced dead at the hospital.
The little child was very bright, as I'm told, and a loving child.
They say his 9-month-old brother, being strapped into his car seat, very well may have saved his life.
Pray that they can mend from this and continue with their lives.
Neighbors are keeping the family in their thoughts. The deputy coroner says no one is to blame for this.
I feel that this is just a tragic accident that happened. There's no fault to anybody in this case that we can tell.
In Pike County, Sam Smith, WKYT.
The funeral for Eli will be tomorrow afternoon at 1 at the J.W. Call & Son Funeral Home.
A father faces serious charges for shaking his 3-month-old son. Our county-by-county coverage begins in Kenton County. Casey Radcliffe is charged with assault in the case. The little boy suffered bleeding in his brain and is in critical condition at Cincinnati Hospital. If he survives, authorities say he'll likely have permanent damage from the injury. In Meade County, state police are investigating after a man was found dead inside his home. Deputies say they found 30-year-old Daniel Shane Allen's body at his home in Battletown yesterday. Investigators say they do suspect foul play. Right now, police are trying to figure out how Allen died. And in Madison County, 2 people are in jail accused of stealing a trailer from Fayette County. Deputies arrested Mark Jackson and Claude Cope in Berea yesterday. The sheriff's office says a deputy went to serve a warrant and saw the 2 pulling into the driveway in a truck that was pulling a utility trailer. The 2 drove off when they saw the deputy but were arrested shortly after. Investigators say the trailer was returned to its owner.
Ironman Louisville is Sunday, but the nearly 3,000 people who signed up for the race are still waiting to hear if they'll get to swim. An algae bloom in the Ohio River may prevent swimmers from being able to get into the water. The Great Ohio River Swim in Cincinnati has already been canceled this weekend because of the algae. State officials have been testing the water all week to make sure it's safe.
Well, there's a number of symptoms, and they could be rashes. They could be flu-like symptoms. It could be, difficulty breathing or other symptoms that you could associate with just being sick.
Organizers for Louisville's Ironman say they'll wait for more tests to come back tomorrow before making a final decision. If the swimming event is canceled, the running and biking events will still go on as planned.
Fall is upon us, and when we think of this time of year, we often think of the leaves changing and the beautiful color changes, but there is something else we should think about when it comes to this season. In today's Good Question, why is fall considered a severe weather season? Well, when we think of severe weather outbreaks, we typically think of spring, but fall is considered a second severe weather season, and for good reason. Just yesterday marked the 1-year anniversary since 6 tornadoes swept across central Kentucky, causing a lot of damage. Paris saw an EF1 tornado hit, causing damage in its path and even throwing a woman from her home. Stamping Ground, Georgetown, and Cynthiana also saw tornadoes touch down. Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey says not to let the nice weather of fall catch you off guard. This fall has been a calm one, but just like last year, storms can spawn up, and we need to be prepared for them. To send in a good question, all you have to do is go to WKYT.com.
We're still a few Weeks from Halloween, but the undead are already in Lexington. Coming up, how city leaders are celebrating Halloween and the Breeders' Cup.
I'm Bill Bryant. The candidates for governor report how much money they have on hand to spend. Hillary Clinton comments on a Kentucky situation involving same-sex marriage and a stunning move on Capitol Hill today. The bottom line is ahead.
I'm Sam Smith in Lexington. Coming up at 6, we'll tell you about a frightening experience for one Lexington homeowner that was home when someone broke into her house.